My name is Julia Contacessi, and I'm an artist. I create for a living. I create large-scale abstract paintings primarily, but my background is in graphic design, marketing and advertising, creative brainstorming and thinking. I went to art school. I think that I create for whatever's in front of me. Right now I'm focusing on painting. I've been doing that for the last 10 years. I love it. I don't see any part of my life stepping away from that, but I create in many different ways. My go-to is painting. I love, it's interesting, there's such a difference to me between drawing and painting. When I studied in school, I had all the foundation fundamental classes, and drawing was like, it was hard. I don't know. I find with the paint and the ability to just layer color in a different way that it's very freeing, and I really enjoy that. You know, over time, the more you create, the habit of creating, it's hard not to find a style, a signature, something that says this is so-and-so's work. It's like handwriting. I have always been drawn to the ocean for inspiration, but even beyond that, I love little bits of detail. I love the contrast between materials. I love the difference between the grit of the sand and the way light hits the water, and how all those things come together, and what those little beautiful nuances are and what those little differences are. And so I think my style is to try to capture those little bits of wonderful beauty that I see in the world and bring them to the canvas or bring them to the paper. Sometimes in the moment when I'm making a piece, I have a bit of a vision of what I'm going for. It can turn out that way sometimes. It can go in a completely different direction other times. And if there is a part of the work that I really, really love, but another section that feels unresolved to me, like, for example, in the piece behind me, I love what's going on at the bottom of it. There's a lot of energy and movement and depth to that, and the top was sort of an unworked area of the canvas. But there's something special in the bottom. And so when that happens, I can quite often put a piece aside so I can look at it and react to it for a while. And then I have to feel, it's crazy to say, but I have to feel brave enough to go back to a piece so I can tackle the areas that I feel are unresolved and not lose the magic that is possibly developed in a certain area. There's a group of work. There's a small group of work that it's hard to know when it's done. There's others that you're like, this is done, this is the way I wanted it to be, this is great. And other times, I'll even throw in a third kind of bucket or category, that you think a piece is in a great spot and it dries and you have to walk away from it. So sometimes I think a piece is perfect, I walk away, 30 minutes, an hour later, it's changed. It could be beautiful, it could need to be reworked. So there's that element to it as well. So there's many steps to that, to taking something to completion. And I feel like that creation, that evaluation, then sort of sitting with it for a bit, getting to know it, and feeling like, yeah, okay, we can be friends. I can let you live here, you know.